Welcome back to Facts Repo, your home for the most fascinating stories from our past. Today, we're journeying back to a time of catastrophic failure, a historical blackout that erased 1,000 years of human achievement. Imagine a world not unlike our own, with sprawling cities, intricate trade networks, and powerful empires. Now, imagine it all vanishing in a single lifetime. This isn't science fiction, it's what happened around 1177 BC. An event so devastating it's known as the Late Bronze Age collapse. The thriving civilizations of the Mediterranean and Near East, the mighty Egyptians, the formidable Hittites, the sophisticated Mycenaeans of Greece, all crumbled. Great cities were abandoned, writing systems were forgotten, and art and architecture reverted to simpler, more primitive forms. It was as if the lights went out on civilization, plunging the world into a dark age that would last for centuries. How did this happen? How did these advanced societies, the superpowers of their day, fall so suddenly and so completely? The answer is a complex puzzle, a detective story more than 3,000 years in the making. And piecing it together offers a chilling warning for our own interconnected world. To understand the collapse, we first need to appreciate what was lost. The Late Bronze Age was a golden era of globalization. The Hittite Empire in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, was a military and diplomatic powerhouse. Their chariots were the cutting edge of military technology. In Greece, the Mycenaeans built monumental fortresses and palaces, their merchants sailing across the sea, trading in pottery, textiles, and precious metals. And in Egypt, the New Kingdom pharaohs presided over a vast empire, building awe-inspiring temples and tombs that still humble us today. These weren't isolated kingdoms, they were part of a vibrant, international system. A sophisticated web of trade connected them all. Tin from Afghanistan and copper from Cyprus traveled thousands of miles to be smelted into bronze, the essential metal that gave the age its name. Grain from Egypt fed the armies of the Hittites, while luxurious pottery from Greece adorned the tables of Canaanite princes. It was a delicate, interdependent system, and it worked beautifully until it didn't. One of the most dramatic clues to the collapse comes from ancient Egyptian inscriptions. They tell of a mysterious coalition of invaders who swept down from the north, an existential threat they called the Sea Peoples. Pharaoh Ramesses III described them in terrifying detail. They came from the sea in their warships and none could stand against them. These raiders, whose exact origins are still debated by historians, are depicted attacking by land and sea. They are credited with toppling the Hittite Empire and sacking wealthy coastal cities throughout the Levant. Were they a single group, or a collection of displaced peoples, refugees and pirates made desperate by hardship in their own lands? For a long time, the Sea Peoples were seen as the primary cause of the collapse. An unstoppable barbarian horde that simply overwhelmed the established order. But modern archaeology suggests a more complicated story. The destruction wasn't uniform, and some signs of trouble appeared before the Sea Peoples ever arrived. They may have been a symptom of the crisis, not its ultimate cause. Another major suspect in this historical mystery is climate change. By studying ancient pollen, lakebed sediments, and tree rings, scientists have uncovered evidence of a severe, prolonged drought that struck the eastern Mediterranean right around the time of the collapse. This wasn't just a dry summer, it was a climatic shift that lasted for decades, perhaps even centuries. For societies built on agriculture, this would have been catastrophic. Widespread crop failures would lead to famine, starvation, and mass social unrest. A population weakened by hunger is not a population that can maintain complex trade routes, field large armies, or build magnificent cities. This megadrought would have set off a domino effect. With no surplus grain to trade, the international system would grind to a halt. People would have been forced to abandon their homes in search of food and water, leading to mass migrations and conflict over scarce resources. The Sea Peoples themselves might have been victims of this climate crisis, their raids born of desperation. But even climate change and foreign invaders might not tell the whole story. Some historians point to a third, more insidious culprit: systems collapse. The very complexity and interdependence that made the Bronze Age world so prosperous also made it incredibly fragile. Think of it like a house of cards. Each card represents a part of the system: agriculture, trade, bureaucracy, military. For a long time, the structure is strong. But if you weaken one card, say, agriculture due to drought, the others start to wobble. Famine disrupts trade. A lack of trade means no bronze for weapons. Weakened armies can't defend against raiders. As each part fails, it puts more stress on the others, until the entire structure comes crashing down at once. This multiplier effect explains how the collapse could happen so quickly and so thoroughly. It wasn't just one bad thing, it was everything going wrong at the same time. Earthquakes may have leveled key cities, plagues may have swept through malnourished populations, and internal rebellions may have shattered kingdoms from within. The system was too rigid, too specialized, and too interconnected to absorb so many shocks. When the dust settled, the world was unrecognizable. The great empires were gone. The grand palaces and temples lay in ruins, reclaimed by weeds. International trade ceased, and communities turned inward, becoming smaller, poorer, and more isolated. Most tragically, the knowledge of writing was lost in many regions, including Greece. Imagine a world where everything your society knew, its history, its laws, its stories, was no longer written down. It had to be passed on orally, from one generation to the next. This is what happened. Homer's epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey, are believed to be folk memories of the lost Mycenaean world, preserved through centuries of darkness until writing was rediscovered. Humanity lost nearly 1,000 years of progress. It took centuries for new civilizations to rise from the ashes, for cities to grow again, and for new empires to forge new connections. The Iron Age that followed was, in its early stages, a significant step backward in many ways. So what can the Bronze Age collapse teach us today? We too live in a highly globalized, interconnected world. Our economies, supply chains, and communication systems are linked in ways the ancients could never have dreamed of. We too face the existential threat of climate change, the risk of pandemics, and the potential for geopolitical instability. The story of 1177 BC is a sobering reminder that civilizations are not permanent. Complexity and interdependence can be sources of great strength, but also of profound vulnerability. It shows us how quickly things can unravel when multiple crises converge, creating a perfect storm that overwhelms even the most powerful and sophisticated societies. The Bronze Age didn't end because people became less intelligent or less capable. It ended because their system became too brittle to withstand the shocks it faced. As we navigate the challenges of the 21st century, the silent ruins of the Hittites and Mycenaeans offer a timeless warning. We must build a world that is not only prosperous but also resilient, capable of adapting to the inevitable crises that lie ahead. Thank you for joining us on this journey into one of history's greatest mysteries. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives from Facts Repo. History is full of lessons, if only we are willing to listen.